All right. Thank you all for joining us. This is my third stop today, now sixth in the past 2 days. And what I've seen, but more importantly, what the people of this and our other counties have lived through is nothing short of devastating. More lives lost than we could have ever imagined through flooding. We are still at 37, but we know that there are more. And sadly, we'll be updating that figure when the information is confirmed and the families are notified. Hundreds of millions of dollars of devastation just coming in from the Hazard Airport, going down that line. Parts of people's homes strewn all over the place. There are homes that we still can't find out there, and we're working as hard as we can to find every person. If there is good news, most of the people reported as missing to the Kentucky State Police have been found. They've done over 1,000 wellness checks with most everybody showing up, and as we got cell phone service in most places, able to find a lot of people. Infrastructure is still tough. We still have, about 7,500 power outages in this area with the heat that is coming. It's really important that we work to get as many people their power back as possible, and then water, such a challenge. Here in Jackson, I flew over Jackson, Mayor, 4 or 5 days ago. Hit so hard. This county hit so hard. But what I see are really strong people, that while you are knocked down, you are not knocked out. And you're seeing, and I hope you're feeling the love from the rest of Kentucky and the rest of this country as people come in to help. The improvement that I've seen over the last 2 days is dramatic, and more help is going to come. We've gone from worried about having enough water to get by for 12 hours to our goal is get y'all so much water you tell us to stop sending it. And we got to look out for each other over these next couple days. It's going to be 100+ degrees and how it feels, and we got to commit that we're not going to lose a single additional person because of that heat wave. Because of that, it's really important that we make sure that everybody know where your cooling station is in Breathitt County. It's the Breathitt Library, because of course our libraries would open up to help people. 1024 College Avenue, Lost Creek is the officially designated cooling center. Let's make sure our friends and family members aren't too proud, because we are proud people, and that we get folks to a place where we can take care of them. I want to give a big thank you to FEMA, which approved individual assistance for this county faster than we have ever seen. A big thank you to the President for that, and they are already on the ground, being willing to talk to people face to face. The FEMA Registration Center in Breathitt County, 421 Jet Drive here in Jackson. Make sure that you go in and see them. We want everybody filing a FEMA claim, and I personally asked the President, the administrator of FEMA, and our regional administrator that we do want better results than what we have seen in the past. We need more people approved, and that means walking people through the process that can otherwise be difficult. A big thank you to the law enforcement, firefighters behind me, the National Guard out here, Kentucky State Police, and all first responders, over 1,300 rescues. And most all that was in about a 48-hour period. Listen, we've known we've got the best guard in America for a while. And right now they're bringing water and supplies, and they're going to help us keep the peace, because we are not going to allow people to loot from people that have already lost everything. But we know we got the best state police too. You got the best city police and sheriff's deputies that are out there. And my goodness, our fire departments out and finding whatever they can to rescue folks. But I think the true story of what we've been through is as many rescues as they've done, neighbors have rescued neighbors at an even higher rate. People willing to risk their life to wade through water to help one another. People find anything that floats to get people out and then going back for their dogs or their cats. That is really special, and if this had hit anywhere else in America, you would have seen an even greater loss of life. Even in the midst of tragedy, I'm proud to be your governor. We are people that love one another and open our hearts and our homes for each other. This rebuild isn't going to be a day or a week. It's probably going to be more than a year. But you have my and the state's commitment that we are going to be here. We are not going anywhere. Somebody's already getting a call for help, but we will not abandon you. Yesterday, I took a half day to go to Western Kentucky. Why? Because those tornadoes had decimated that region. And to show them, 7.5 months in, that we were still here. And you know what they did? One of them sent a $3,000 check to help the people of Eastern Kentucky. Mayfield's fire chief loaded up their ambulance. They haven't had one until recently because their entire station got wiped out and drove up here. The city of Marion, which is still going through a water emergency, is surplusing some of their vehicles so they can send them to Eastern Kentucky. And to a person, you know what they said? Eastern Kentucky was there for us when we needed it, and we're going to be there for them. We're going to be there for you. We love you. We care about you. We're going to get out there and try to find every single person. And our commitment is to work to rebuild every life, every structure. This is your home. And we want to make sure people can stay in it. With that, I'll turn it over to the county judge. Then we'll hear from the mayor, emergency management, and the superintendent, because let me tell you, schools are the beacon, right? They are the light in the darkness. Everywhere I've gone today, every single shelter, our educators, our nurses, and others are there, and most of our shelters are in schools themselves. That's a pretty special thing. So, Judge.
Again, I can't thank the governor enough for what all he's done and what the state's done. And like he said, you know, all the way from Mayfield, sending donations. It's been tremendous, the outpouring of love. Again, I've been through some disasters, but I've not been through a disaster that even compares to this. We got so many that's lost loved ones. So many homes missing. I'm in communities. I'm from the southern end up at the Perry County line toward Hazard. As far as I've been is from my house to Jackson, and I mean, it's a war zone. Communities, I mean, no homes. I mean, not a sign of a structure. I mean, you see a piece of roof here, see more stuff on the road to do with houses than you do where the houses were at. It's just been tremendous what's happened over and upper and lower River Caney. My secretary works there, my custodian works there. No home. No home. We got a road, the only thing we got over there, but we got no homes. I think 4 homes out of the whole community. Upper River Caney, no road but a few homes. It's just unimaginable. 2 bodies recovered over in Upper River Caney yesterday. One of them was a fellow who just retired here from the physical court that worked here, his daughter. Another one that I went to school with, his wife. They found him yesterday, just washed away. But, you know, in Clayhole, and I don't want to start talking about places because I'm going to leave places off. Clayhole area, I've not been up through there, but it's just homes that you wouldn't even imagine water getting close to is gone. It's just devastating. But I promise you, we're working day and night. It's nonstop, and it's going to be nonstop. The governor is here for the long haul. I talked to Mitch McConnell's office yesterday, Hal Rogers. Mitch actually called me. He promised his FEMA's going to get in here, and they are in here. And I mean, it's happened, like the governor said, somebody was talking to me Saturday and said the president's already signed a declaration, and he didn't. I said, I don't know, and I couldn't imagine it, but DS coordinator contacted his office, and it had happened. You know, and we need help now. And again, I promise you, our court, we've had differences, but that's over. That's behind us. We're all working together. We ain't just Kentucky strong. We're Breathitt County strong. We're East Kentucky, and we're here to do whatever we can, and we're going to get through this thing. And like I say, the governor said the roads all going to be built back better. Hard for me to comprehend that, seeing what we're dealing with now, but it'll happen. I promise. And we're going to do everything we can. I can't say enough about emergency management. I can't say. I'm not going to start calling offices. I can't say enough about the mayor, what she's done, what she's working at. I've stepped on her toes. She's kind of stepped on my toes, and but you do that. I mean, we're human, and we feel for our community. And I know you all do too. But I mean, the position we're in, it's just tough when you're sitting there trying to have a conversation and something pops up. Do you know so and so? They found her dead. Almost more than I can even take and imagine. But I promise you, with the governor and everybody behind us, we're going to get through this thing. Again, one thing he touched on there that I can't imagine we're talking about, this looting. And it's happening up in my area of the county where I'm from, Lost Creek area. Folks, those people lost everything they've had. They've lost family members. And then somebody that would go through their remains of what they've got. We're not going to have that. If you're caught, you will be extended to the full extent of the law. And I just can't imagine that. But that's the negative side of every community, I guess. And it may not even be people from our community doing it. And I hope it isn't. But don't let that be. And if you see somebody, let people know about it. They're not part of Breathitt County's human race to do something like that. But again, I'm here. Whatever you need. I mean, I think everybody's got my cell phone. If you ain't asked somebody and they give it to you, I mean, whatever we can help with. If you're blocked in and you need water, you need food, you need gas, you let us know. Last night in the dark hours of the night, National Guards, I think it was, I better not say National, I think it was the National Guard, took water to a family that needed a generator because of their food, about to lose their food, got a handicapped child. But I mean, we're here for whatever we need to do. Medical, I mean, it just we're here, and we're going to get through this thing with the governor's help. And I thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from the mayor. I tell you, I was talking both to the judge, but then personally, we had to send somebody to find the mayor as we were worried about that dam and what it would mean. And I got to tell you, the power of prayer is real, because we were convinced in the EOC that thing was going to breach, and it didn't. So God is good even when it's tough. But I want to thank her, because she was going door to door to try to get people out. Of course, when we thought it was imminent, we sent the state police to do even more than door to door, but appreciate how everybody responded. Talk about a community coming together and getting people out. It could have been catastrophic, and we're blessed that it wasn't. Mayor.
Good afternoon. I just want to thank everybody for being here, and the message that I want to get out there is that we do appreciate the Kentucky delegation and our Governor, Andy Beshear. Thank you so much for pushing this disaster declaration, because as he said, and when I read it on the email, nobody believed me, and I said, and it was just, they said, this has never happened so fast. So thank you and the other people that are up there in Washington representing us. Our people need help, and we just have so many people. I couldn't begin to say, as the judge said, the agencies. I don't want to start naming corporations or agencies that are helping, but we do appreciate you. If we don't get time to see you, each one, we appreciate your help. As far as the city resources, we did get, the water plant was operating. I have to say, I was so amazed that they got it going so fast. And there again, I want to thank our city employees. We have some great people that are working for the city of Jackson. And of course, the county water district depends on the city of Jackson water plant. So we also had some agencies come in and help our people over at the plant. We have some other district people here, but I want people out, if you're able to have electric and able to watch any of the news, to know that you have people that are working as hard as they can to get services restored to everyone. And we want to get help to you. And once again, Governor, I thank you for being here and recognizing Eastern Kentucky, being in Eastern Kentucky, seeing the Lieutenant Governor being here, Rocky being here, and other people that are here, and they are listening, and they have said to call. And if y'all know me, I will call. Thank you.
All right, next we're going to hear from emergency management, and we are blessed to have a system of emergency management all across Kentucky that lifts up our local leaders, and nobody was out earlier and working harder than emergency management all across Kentucky. Draw straws.
Just from an emergency management perspective, we're working really hard to try to get some of the infrastructure projects pushed through. We're working humanitarian missions right now with the National Guard, pushing water, non-perishable food, tarps, and those kind of things into the more affected areas of the county. Highway 476, Mount Carmel, that southern end, and we will be working on those, finishing up today and into tomorrow. Our IA damage assessments, it's my understanding that those have been completed via drone. So that's one of the things that is going to really push some things forward quicker for Breathitt County. We've started in our public assistance projects today doing damage assessments there as well. So we're here to help the citizens of Breathitt County, help to move them forward and get them through this disaster, and thank you.
Just to clarify, there are two types of assistance that Breathitt County is getting. There's public assistance and individual assistance. Think about the infrastructure, state, county, city that's been impacted. What that means is there'll be at least a 75-25 split where the federal government will pick up 75% of eligible expenses. We're going to be asking for more, and in the past that has worked. I know our federal delegation, who has been wonderful, talked specifically to Senator McConnell's, I spoke to him yesterday, asked how he could help. We told him, and he said his office would immediately get on it. Next, I think we're going to hear from the superintendent, but we got our National Guard up here. Now 300 plus strong, a lot of people alive because of them. If you saw any of those rescues, there's not a lot of people on earth that can do what they were doing. I want to say I'm grateful to West Virginia and Tennessee for sending other great people. Now, our Guard's the best, but I'll give them 2 and 3. So with that, let's hear from our superintendent.
My heart just goes out to all of our families, communities, friends, students, and staff. We're just humbled right now. I need to give Chris Friley some credit there. He didn't come over and talk, but since thing has started, we sure communicate a lot. Appreciate Judge Noble and Mayor Thomas, and the school has been here to provide a lot of support. Out at Marie Roberts, I'll add to what the governor said earlier, we have opened up a cooling center. So I have to say a big thank you to AEP. They got the power turned on late last night, and we were able to open that up. A lot of our schools were water-bound or evacuated, so we're very happy that the waters went down, and we're starting to do recovery efforts. And got to give a shout out to all of our bus drivers that came and assisted. They transported a lot of people that night. This was very different from the one in 2020 because last time it came up, went down, we had a lot of people to help. This go around, I had a few individuals. I had a couple people stay in the high school all night and push water all night long, trying to keep it out of the main floor. So we'll be able to put the schools back rather quickly, but our main focus right now is on our family and friends. And we know we're probably over 60 employees that's been damaged pretty significantly, if not several of those are complete loss. And we're very concerned with their students, and we're trying to make contacts with those. So we just appreciate everyone here and all of the efforts, and we look forward to rebuilding stronger.
I'm sorry, I forgot something. I know I said I'd forget to thank people, but I can't say enough about Wolfe County. So those people down there have done so much for our people, and they may not get the attention. I didn't hear the Wolfe County, but I want to shout out to all the leadership in Wolfe County and Wolfe County schools and all their people that are down there feeding and sheltering our people.
So once again, for the citizens of Breathitt County, 3 current ways to interact with FEMA. 1 is online. 2nd is their hotline. 3rd is their facility at 421 Jet Drive here in Jackson. We're going to work to get all the state services as close as we can to the FEMA services so people can come in, do their claim, get their driver's license, everything else that we can do. If they need unemployment, do it all right there. I've also been promised we're going to have people on the ground soon that are going to be able to go door to door like they did in the West and help people with their claims. FEMA had previously committed to 80 folks in Kentucky. I asked them for a whole lot more. So awaiting on what we'll hear on that, but we had the top FEMA official in Kentucky the day after. We've got our regional coordinator who's here for the foreseeable future. So we are getting the right attention from Washington, thanks to our federal delegation and thanks to an administration that has reached out and wants to help. With that, we'll open it up to questions.
Governor, you've gone on several of these stops the last several days. I know you've heard stories of heartache, things today, some of the takeaways that I know you'll be thinking of when you go home today.
Yeah, I was, listen, it's hard, but it's not nearly as hard as it is on the families that are living through this every day. I got to go to a shelter out in a distribution center out in Floyd County, and a mom and her son couldn't have been 6, going through, and he was trying on a pair of cowboy boots and just trying to get the boots on him, and he was so excited about them. He didn't have anything else, and literally nothing else, and mom trying to put on a strong front in front of him. But you know what else I've seen? I've seen thousands of volunteers. People from each and every one of these communities, some of which have lost their house, some of which have lost part of it. Some didn't have any damage, and you know what? They want to be every moment, every hour, hour after hour in one of these facilities helping out. I see our young people turning out and helping too. All of our sports teams in all of the different areas. So girls basketball and volleyball. It seems like the football team everywhere is out helping, which is good because the water can be heavy. But it's just been, it's been really special to see how we rally around each other, but that's who we are. And I think the rest of the world sees it when we have something like this.
Do you know how many people are still unaccounted for?
I wish we had a good number for it. I don't know if we'll ever have a good number for it until we're at the end. I think folks here would tell you it's hard to say how many people were living in this place or that place beforehand. I will say that the reports that KSP has gotten, they're getting through most of them with the result that we all want, that people are alive and just couldn't get connected. Now those numbers will go down and down and down, especially with cell phone service, but if you don't have a cell phone, all right, if you lost that too because you were getting out, then it's really hard to connect. I'm hoping in the coming week we might have a better number. It's likely going to be people have called in for this person and we haven't found them, as opposed to a real unaccounted for number. Now that death toll is going to go up. We know of at least a couple more bodies that are being processed. Blessing that we've only lost 4 kids, though that one's really, really hard. I know not far from here.
Housing seems to be a real issue here because there's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of completely missing. Do you have Kentucky's trailers on the way here too?
Yes, we do. We've got now about 100 travel trailers, up from the original 70 that we thought were available. We've got the crew that put them in the West, so we don't have any learning curve about how fast we can get them in. And you know what? They're living in eastern Kentucky right now to get as many of these hooked up as possible. We got a bunch at Jenny Wiley in Floyd County. We got some in Knott County, and we're locating with the folks back here the right places to put them here. We're going to get people stabilized in them as we move forward. There's going to be opportunities to put them on people's property too, but what was intermediate housing in the tornadoes is emergency housing here, getting them out. We're also going to work with all the hotels and other areas that are sheltering people. I don't want people paying out of their pocket right now when they don't have anything, and I don't want anybody kicked out of where they are if they have a roof over their head. We got Buckhorn open too. My goodness, one of the hardest hit areas. Thank you to Kentucky Power. They were putting up poles there. Thank you to our Division of Water, which we've got working showers and toilets out at Buckhorn. We even have internet and Wi-Fi out there, which I'm told Buckhorn might have never had. But a place where people can be stable, and we'll take care of them as long as we need to.
How do you expect the heat over the next couple of
Ooh.
days will complicate or affect rescue and recovery efforts in Jackson?
I don't think it's going to impact rescue operations. We now have a bunch of people in from all over the United States. I do want them to take shifts. I do want them to rest. We do not want to lose any search and rescue individual, whether they're ours or whether they've come in out of the goodness of their heart. We need to keep everybody really hydrated. My main concern is for our seniors and for those that have health conditions. Listen, I remember when we got that ice storm, we were up in Ashland, Rocky's neck of the woods, and I ran into a friend, and his dad was sitting there with his dialysis machine hooked up in the building. You were there. We got to make sure that those that are vulnerable either have a cool place with family where we know the temperature is going to be tolerable, or that we get them to the cooling station. So everybody out there, think about your loved ones, think about your friends and family. Again, we didn't make it through the worst flooding that we have ever seen in our lifetime to lose somebody now to heat. And it's going to be hot.
I was talking to Kathy O'Man yesterday after I visited with her, and she was talking about what she's trying to do to help mayors and communities here. Obviously, we hate that we had both of these tragedies happen, but what have you learned from December that's kind of helped expedite things now?
We learned a lot. I wish that we didn't have the experience that we have. I mean, we're going to have 100 travel trailers here in probably the span of a week, when it was months before. We learned the importance of a centralized fund, though there are really good charities out there where we can get extra help on top of the help I'm going to ask from the General Assembly. We're going to have those conversations once we're out of this emergency situation. We've learned the best uses and how the Guard and police and firefighters work together. We've learned of capabilities. Lexington sent their rescue crew up and their watercraft capabilities. We learned to ask for help, and that was West Virginia and Tennessee. We've learned that we've got to tell our story to the world. It's important to get the help that we need here. The importance of communications. We're having a call a day at least with our judges and our mayors. The importance of water. Again, we're going to get so much here, people are going to say, stop sending it, and there's going to be a mountain of water left in Breathitt County when we are done. You know what? You can pass that along to the next group that needs it. You've had water driven up from other places. The lesson that I learned is we're going to overdo it. And if we send too many resources, I'll take the blame for that. We don't want there to be a lack of resources. One last thing we've learned that we really want to work on is we want to get more people approved through the FEMA process. All right, thank you all very much.